Hey monkeys, how you doing? Damian Keys here. Right, I've got a big one for you. I'll try that again. Don't giggle. Hey monkeys, how you doing? Damian Keys here. Right, I've got a big question for you today. I want to talk about what it is that you are trying to achieve. What's the pot at the end of the rainbow? Now, the reason why I asked this is because I want to talk about art versus money. So let me take you on a journey. Come with me back in time to when you and I started playing music. Now, I can talk about my own journey, but I know yours is going to be very, very similar. We started playing because maybe we had a guitar for Christmas or birthday, or we borrowed someone's guitar, bass, drums, insert your own instrument, and instantly we were hooked. We started playing, we were like, I like this is really fun. And we just put all of our time and effort into starting to learn an instrument, and it became an obsession. And then from there, we did things like, we started to find other musicians and get into a band. And then all of a sudden we did our first rehearsal and we were like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then at some point we did our first gig and we stood on stage and we were like, oh my, this is fucking mind blowing. I've just played a gig to people who actually appreciated what I do, even though it was probably horrific at the time. And that gig was just like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And this obsession, this passion, and this hobby of yours is just consuming you and consuming all of your time and your effort, energy, and all of your money. And it's just you. You are now wrapped up in being a musician, and it's the best feeling in the world. And then one day you say, I love this so much, I wonder how I can get paid for doing the same thing. How can I do what I do now, but someone pay me money? And all of a sudden, everything changes. Everything changes at that moment that you think, I love this so much. Now, how do I get paid doing this? Now, I've done a little diagram, and bearing in mind, I didn't do any art GCSE, as you can tell, but what I've done here is a Venn diagram. I didn't learn that from school. I learned that from Google. Fuck you, school. This is a Venn diagram, okay? Now, in this, what you've got over here is art, and what you've got over here is money, okay? So when I say art, I mean all the stuff that you grew up doing when you started learning to play. All the creativity and the passion and just experimenting and doing what the fuck you wanted to do whenever you wanted to do it because you wanted to do it. And if you wanted to have a 5-second song, you'd have a 5-second song. And if you wanted to have 12 verses and no choruses, you do what you want. It doesn't matter, because this is just whatever the hell you wanted to do whilst you were learning and experimenting and just having fun with being obsessed with music. Now this bit over here, this is money. Dosh, wonga, moolah, wad, yeah, and a bunch of other things that are dosh related. So over here, this is where you think, well, this bit here is what I have to do to get paid. And so in here is kind of more of the kind of the stuff that you do because you're passionate about something. And so it might be teaching, it might be covers, it might be sessions, whatever you think over here. This is the money side to it, right? And then right here in this little cross, this little dot I've made here, this is the sweet spot, okay? This is the money shot. This is what we're all aiming for. But the problem is I've kind of drawn it quite big here, but if you actually look at this in all of the arty do what the fuck you like thing and please pay me because now you're the customer, so you get to tell me what to do because you're paying, and right in between is the money shot where you actually say, this is what I fucking want to do. I do whatever I want whenever I want to do it, and you guys pay me for that because you love it so much. And this is a tiny, tiny, tiny thing that we're all aiming for, but it's tiny. It's almost impossible to find. We're talking unicorn. That's what we're talking. We are talking finding an A&R man in 2017. That's what this is. This is so hard to find. This is effectively the music industry G-spot is what that is. And we are all aiming for the music industry G-spot. We're aiming for us doing what we want to do, but we want someone else to pay for it, okay? So bear this in mind. Now let me tell you a story. I'm writing a book, right? And I'm loving writing a book. I say I'm writing a book. I'm conjuring a book, and I'm working with a lady called Siobhan who's fantastic, and she is helping me get all my thoughts and ideas into book because I've got one GCSE and it took me an extra year to get that one GCSE, so I am effectively academically thick as shit. So effectively, what I'm doing is I'm going through my experiences and getting them down onto paper, and she's helping with this. Now, before this happened, before we started working together, I got approached by a publishing company, a book publishing company, who said, loving what you're doing, we think you are marketable. We think you should come and sign to our publishing company and we'll put the book out for you. And I was like, what the fuck? Me, a published author? I mean, the last book I read was Fantastic Mr. Fox. So I was like, great, that sounds amazing. I went for a meeting and they were going to pay me money before I'd even written the book. Like, they were like, yeah, we pay you the money, you go away, you write the book, and then we do the stuff and the book goes out. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And so I went for this meeting, and in the first 5 minutes, the guy said to me, have you got any ideas for a book name? And I said, well, it's working titles at the moment, but I think I want the book to be called Fuck Plan B. And he went, what? You can't do that. And I was like, yeah, I want it to be called Fuck Plan B, I think. And he said, do you mean like F asterisk CK Plan B? Because there have been some books where they've got the asterisk in the place of the U or the C. And I was like, nope, Fuck Plan B is what it's going to be called. I want it to just offend everybody. And the guy was like, no. And I was like, what do you mean no? It's my book. It's like, it's mine. If I want to call it Fuck Plan B, I'll call it Fuck Plan B. And he was like, you can't, because you'll never get into a bookshop. And I was like, I don't care. And he was like, no, you can't do that. So I was like, but it's mine. It's my book. It's my thoughts. It's my creating. It's me doing it. And it took me back to being a kid, dealing with record labels. And all of a sudden, you sign your soul away, and all of a sudden that's fine, but they get say. All of a sudden there's a committee when you sign to a major record label and you say, I want this to be the album cover. It's a picture of a burning monk or two goats fucking, or whatever it is. And then all of a sudden they just go, nah, I can't do that, but we're going to bring in a photographer and we're going to do something else. And you're thinking, oh, okay, so the creativity has been taken out of it because there's other people who are in control. Instantly, I was like, I don't want to work with you. This book is about everything against that. This is about control. This book is about controlling your destiny and controlling your life through the new set of rules which you are creating, not the new set of rules which are here, the new set of rules which people keep telling you. They fucked off, they've gone. There aren't any of those rules, they're just traditions, and it's up to you to make your own rules. And I've got a bunch of examples and how they fit into social media, technology, and especially musicians in the music industry. And that's what the book's about. So I was like, I don't need your publishing. I am going to do this myself. I'll self-publish. And the reason I can do this is because, going back to my Venn diagram, is because this is where I'm at. Because I don't need the money for this book. I don't give a shit. I'm going to make this book because this book needs to be made because people need to hear this message. And it's a message that I feel strongly about. So therefore, I'm in control. It's my art. And I'm not going to sell out for it. And if I sell 10 copies, fine by me. And if I sell 10 million copies, then I'll... I don't know how much money that makes, but I'll buy you all a cup of tea. So this is my art. And so if it fits in here, fantastic, because you notice that I said if it does sell 10 million copies, then fantastic. Then I fit into the nice little kind of G spot here. But if not, then it's my art. And if I wanted the money, I go to the publisher and I just say, look, you tell me what to do and I'll just basically put something down and you can edit it and do it your own way. So I'm in this camp when it comes to the book. Now, because of this here, what I see with so many musicians and artists is they want to do all of this, but then they want someone else to fit in this. And what I'm saying is, if you want this bit here, which is the bit we're all aiming for, and it's very, very tiny, if this is the bit you're aiming for, there has to be a compromise. And I am going to tell you where that compromise is now. If you want to fit in here and compromise, and you have to have the compromise is in the marketing. It's in the audience, and it's in you being able to prove to yourself, as well as anything else, that what you are doing with your art works. Now, what you can't do is you can't say, I wrote these songs, I'm just going to put it out there, someone buy them. It doesn't work like that. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of. I'm seeing a band saying, well, we wrote an album, why the fuck isn't anyone buying the album? Well, we put the tour on, why isn't anyone buying the tickets? I'm going to go and shout at my audience because they're not buying the tickets. The compromise means if you are doing all of the art yourself, then you have to do all of the distribution yourself. If you are saying, fuck the music industry or fuck whoever else, this is about me and what I want to do because I want to do it, then you have to go and find the people who believe in you. That's the little tiny bit there. And this, even though it's a tiny little bit that we're aiming for, is crazy amount of hard work. What we're talking about now is hours and hours every single day of building and, more importantly, looking after an audience. And no matter how niche it is, because the more arty it is, the more niche it is, there is an audience who you will be able to use to monetize your product. But what you're saying is, I'm doing my art, therefore I have to do a shit ton of work on the marketing. And by marketing, I don't mean advertising. I mean audience building. I mean going and find someone that says, no man, fuck pop music. I like 16-minute prog rock songs. You go, great. I need to go and find those people who like 16-minute prog songs. Or, no, I want to listen to the music where the singer goes, you just go, there's loads of people that like that. I've got to go and find them and convince them to buy into my product. That's the bit, and that's the compromise that you have to do. Otherwise, you've got choice of art or money. And art is basically doing what the fuck you like, and if you make money, you won't make money. You just do art and you just put it out there and everyone just appreciates it and you go, yeah, it's just doing this for me. It's just something I like to do. Fine. There's nothing wrong with that, and that's art. And if you say money and you go, fine, yeah, I'm gonna have to go and play YMCA on a Saturday night to a bunch of pensioners, then that's the money side to it. If you want to narrow it down into the middle, then that's the work. That is every day, hours and hours and hours a day. And that's the tough bit, and that's the bit that people don't want to do. I made the record, I can't be asked. I'm just going to make another record. The amount of times I hear that and I go, I've made the record, what are you going to do? We're gonna push it on our Facebook. We're going to do a video for it for YouTube, and maybe we'll do a week-long tour. And I go, what are you going to do after that? Start working on the next record. It's like, wow, you spent 6 months of your life making a record and you spent 2 weeks distributing it. That's definitely a wonky way of doing something instead of doing it the other way around. The bit in the middle is the sweet spot. You want to create your own art. That's your thing. You want to do it. So therefore, how are you going to get people to buy into it? Because there are people that are into some crazy, freaky shit. You can find anything on Google nowadays. So you've got to go and find those people who are into the thing that you're into, and you've got to build this community. It's hard, and it takes hours and hours and hours every day, and it might be for the next 5 or 10 years. But I'm here to tell you that the best bit is, if you are prepared to do that bit, which I'm seeing musicians not really, then this G-spot is actually findable, which is crazy. So you need to think where you are. Is this just money? If it is, whack off the art and just do some shit for money. Just go and sell your soul, because there's nothing wrong with that. It's just saying, I just like playing guitar, I want to go and make some money at it. Fine, there's loads of ways you can do that, loads. If you say, no, I just love writing my own stuff and doing what the fuck I want, and I'll just put it on Facebook, and if anyone likes it, they like it, and if they don't, they don't. That's totally fine too. All of those are completely acceptable. The problem is when you're trying to crowbar something too arty and just expecting the money, that doesn't work. You know, when you go and play covers on a Saturday night, they want you to play Mr. Brightside. You can't say, no, but I want to play a song by Dream Theater. Then that doesn't work. So it's the compromise and sacrifice. And this sweet spot here, there is a compromise, there is a sacrifice, and that sacrifice is hours and hours every single day. And I mean every single day for the next 5 to 10 years on building an audience and looking after your audience who appreciates what you do, and looking after them until you can monetize it. And notice the word until you can monetize it. Not, I found some people buy this shit. I mean, you look after these people like they've never been looked after until they are literally just in love with what you do because you've brought them so much value, and you pick a moment. You pick that. So you're jabbing and having a bit of a fight, and then at some point, it's been a long, long time, you think, I'm going for the killer punch. Bang! That takes some time. So there's your G-spot, or whatever you want to call the bit that can't be found, clitoris, I don't know, whatever the fuck it is. That is art versus money. And I am seeing far too many people who are trying to merge the both without making the sacrifice and the compromise of doing the marketing. So have a think about it. Now, competitions, hashtag 60min win, get it below. I'm coming to Manchester 24th, 25th of October. If you are in the north and you want to book in, there are slots. You've got to email katie@dkmanagement.co.uk. There are slots left. What other news is there? Probably that's it. Go and just like and subscribe and smash the like button. And any questions, hashtag AskDamo. Otherwise, peace out. I'll see you again soon. Cheers, bye.